Welcome back, Wagoneers, to another exciting episode of the Wasted Wagons podcast. With us, we have Mike, Biff, Todd, Russ, Pat, and myself. I'm Travis, and we're expecting Sean to join us today in a little bit as well. So we're going to have a full panel tonight. It's been a long time.
Been a bit, yep.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a full crew. So definitely glad to see all of y'all here at the table in the WW Corral. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't much really even feel like coming to do a podcast today because the New Orleans Saints are 0-3, and I don't think there's a win on the horizon, fellas.
They're atrocious.
I'm wearing a Saints hat, and it probably should be burned.
Well, let's see. We got the Bills next week, so that's an L.
I mean, so far I'm hitting on all pistons for my predictions. So I mean, that's the only positive.
What did you pick? 0-17?
No, I don't remember offhand, but they didn't have their first win.
I actually listened.
Week 5.
Actually, listened to that one today. I think you picked 6-11, but you did have a nice long losing streak to start the season. No. And I guess all we can do is hope, that we can start stringing together some wins. Or at this point, are we just shooting for a high draft pick? I don't even know.
I feel like hope is just lost at this point.
Well, we're definitely not tanking for Arch. So
Yeah, I think Arch Manning is probably as big of a dumpster fire as the Saints right now.
I think they gave up, after the second play, I think, maybe. So, high draft pick is what we have to look forward to right now.
So what are you guys noticing as we watch these first 3 games and we're 0-3? What's y'all's biggest takeaways, or where do you think when we when we left out the preseason we had a little bit of optimism, but now it seems like each week we're watching the optimism just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. What do you think is going wrong for us?
Well, Travis, I think it's everything. I think it's a team.
Where do you start?
Team shitting of the bed.
A team shitting on the bed, absolutely. I think it's from the coach down to the kicker, like everybody in between.
and Groupie's already missed 3 field goals.
Yeah, who drafted Groupie, by the way? I think.
Somebody
wait,
did.
my team. Yeah.
I can't say that there is a standout player. I mean,
Olave could have racked up some receptions today, but
yeah, but look at the first 2 games. I mean, he was ass.
Really, what gets me is the penalties.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like that's like these blatant holds, and I was like, oh, the refs are picking on us, but it's like, no, like that's a fucking hold. Like,
Well, when it was halftime and they put a stat on the screen today that said this is their 3rd game in a row with 7+ penalties, and we were just at halftime, and I know we probably ended up getting 4 or 5 more at least. So, yeah, penalties definitely need to be cleaned up.
Yeah, I know at one point they're already at 11 penalties. I don't remember what part of the game it was at, but
it's probably the third quarter.
not acceptable.
I don't know.
It's
Some
like
of
10
the
minutes
some of the
left in the
first
third.
penalties I saw in the game were kind of a little questionable.
I don't know. I would look at the replay and I was like, yeah, that's a hold. I don't know. I saw a couple of holding penalties and like false starts and.
well, I thought the Brissy penalty at the beginning of the game, the unnecessary roughness, because we had that stop, and I mean, he headbutted one of the offensive linemen, but it didn't look like much. I mean, that was kind of wishy-washy. I think, football's an aggressive game. It wasn't like he flattened the guy and threw him to the ground. It was a little minor headbutt. I thought that was a little chicken shit call, and they ended up scoring.
Well,
the
at
next
first
drive.
I was really mad because I was like, shit, that right there cost us 7 points. But I think watching the whole thing, as a whole, it did matter.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
The
it
grand
didn't,
scheme of
but-
things, they whooped us.
So here's some of my takes. One, I think the biggest thing is we can't get our defense off the field. The defense cannot make a stop on 3rd down. So that is the biggest thing for me through watching 3 games. Is like we cannot make a 3rd down stop. The forcing punts is almost non-existent. They're at least getting in field goal range or kicking field goals almost every time they get a ball. So I think that's the glaring number 1, maybe number 2 behind, like what Biff said, with the amount of penalties that are racking up. Another thing that is staring down to me is, we talked about this before we went on air. Alvin Kamara is a pass catching back. for whatever reason, we are not using him in the passing game, and I think that's something that is something we've been very successful with over the last couple of years. Then all of a sudden, now I know he's getting a little older, but now we've just decided to take one of your best pass catchers, period, out of the game as a pass catching back. And I don't know if that's to preserve his health or what, but it's not helping.
Rattler did throw one to him. It was like before the half, and he dropped it. I mean, it was too high. It looked like he went to go grab it.
Yeah, that was a terrible throw.
It was a bad throw. But I mean, other than that, yeah, I haven't seen them use him in that capacity a lot this year.
But, y'all have mentioned it too. There's nobody really on offense that's really stepping up to be big playmakers. I mean, I think Chris Olave's been doing his fair share. He's not getting deep balls. It's just a matter of just little dink and dunks. Juwan Johnson has played much better than I thought he would. He has a drop at least once a game, but he's at least making himself available, getting himself open. I thought Rattler played today. I thought he played a little worse today than he did the previous two games. Like he looked like he had slow starts to weeks 1 and 2, but then as the game went on, he got stronger. Today, I didn't really see a whole lot of anything from him. So I'm kind of over the Rattler experience. I don't know how much longer we're going to let it go, but it's certainly not his fault. We can't, I'm not pinning anything on him, but I don't think he gives us a really good chance to win either.
Yeah, he was the highest graded offensive player for the past 2 weeks. So, I mean, that may give him a little more leverage, but he looked like total ass today. I mean, he missed wide open targets. Now, given that the whole offense looked terrible, that the offensive line is playing a lot worse than I anticipated, I thought that was going to be one of the bright spots coming into the season, was that it looked like we solidified our offensive line, but they really haven't been giving him a whole lot of protection.
So I agree, Rattler's not the guy, but he looks a lot better than Shuck, so.
The stats were pretty comparable.
Yeah, preseason, I mean, their stats are pretty darn identical. I think you let Rattler go another game or two, but if he's not getting you to wins, you have a second-round pick. I think you pretty much have to turn to Shuck at some point. So,
I want to say we were talking about this game today a couple episodes ago, maybe, Pat, where we all said that this was the game to see if Rattler did bad, they were going to swap to go to Shuck.
Well, they'll probably wait till after Buffalo.
Didn't we say that this was the game because we were probably the most comparable teams?
I think Todd mentioned this about something about the Seattle game going on that.
I originally picked them to beat Seattle because I thought Seattle was going to be a little bit overrated, but I changed it at the last minute. I flipped that with another game.
Good change.
But yeah.
Yeah, I listened to it today. He flipped it with the Titans game. So yeah, so he did pick it. He did pick it as a Saints loss, and he picked the Saints to beat the Titans later in the year.
All right, so everyone this week picked Seattle to win.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Nothing's coming off as a huge surprise yet. I think most of us had us around this ballpark. I picked us to beat the Cardinals just because I thought we were going to come into the Dome motivated. Get a win for Kellen Moore, but we're really not that far off from where we started. The negative side is that I'm not seeing the upside I was hoping we'd be seeing at this point. Like, there's nothing that's showing me we're going to, even play remotely good against Buffalo, and who we have New York after that. Hopefully we can at least play better against New York. But
man, I don't know.
But to get back to, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I remember early on in the game, we were on the Saints 35-yard line, and it was 4th and 2 maybe, and then we ended up going for it. And this is after I think we were down 14-0. And I'm thinking, what the heck is Kellen Moore doing? Okay, I know you want to be aggressive. I know you want to, throw your name out there saying you got some big balls or something, but this is not the right time in the game to do that. I don't know. I think Kellen Moore is. I don't know. I don't think he's the right fit for us.
Here's my counter to that. Not that you're wrong about him maybe wanting to be aggressive and try to maybe get a play to try to start cutting into the lead, but maybe he didn't trust his kicker, who he's seen miss a few kicks lately. So on the 35-yard line, You figure that's what, a 50, 51, 52-yard field goal?
No. Saints.
Our own 35. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
I don't think the numbers would give you the percentage to say that you should go for it. You probably want to kick that ball. You don't. You're not.
Well, they came
Punt the ball. I mean,
they ended up going back and getting a touchdown. So that
right. I think I would have punted the ball and
everybody would have.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the.
That happened today.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening.
It was. I think it was like 14-0. The Saints were at the. It was the second time they went for it on fourth down. The first time early on in the game, they didn't get it, but they were still, in the Seattle, closer to the Seattle end zone. The second time, they were at the Saints 35, and they still went for it. And I was like, "What the heck are we doing?"
Was it at least like 4th and 1 or 4th? Like what
It was
was
four. It was 4 and 2. 4 and 2. It was pretty ridiculous.
My biggest takeaway so far from the first 3 weeks is the lack of tackling, the inability to get off the field on third down. The secondary is getting overrun with some of the routes that are being run against them. Like they're losing their receiver way too often, so it's making a lot of free space for catch and run. Mm-hmm. Not even just completing third downs and moving the chain, but catching the ball, turning upfield, and going another 5 to 10 yards and all that. Offensively, I'm not surprised by any of this. I don't think we have a talented roster offensively outside of Kamara, Olave, and we got a bunch of C to C minus to maybe B minus players. The O-line is probably a D grade-wise. The quarterbacks are C's. The other skilled players outside of Olave are average. So this, I think, is the product that you make with what you have. They're just not. We're not a super talented team, so it doesn't.
Mike was saying that he doesn't know if Moore is a good fit here. I mean, I think Moore is working with what he's got. Yeah. I mean, there's not.
Yeah, but this is the second time I see him do some questionable calls. There was another questionable call last game that I was kind of like, why did he do that? It was the time clock. He didn't
right.
He didn't take a timeout, right. And he let the clock run down when he probably could have had another good drive to maybe be a little bit more competitive. And then this time with this play that I'm talking about, they handed it off to Kamara. He didn't get the 2 yards, and then Seattle gets it at the 35, and then they score. And it's like, what the heck, man? I don't know. It's just frustrating being a fan.
I chalk a lot of that up to he's a first-time head coach. He's normally been an offensive coordinator. He has not had to make all of these decisions on his own, even though he has a counsel to help him and advise him on what to do. But like the timeout thing, I've seen experienced coaches that have won Super Bowls. It happens. They do it. I think you're speaking from, not that you're wrong. I think you're more from a place of frustration, which is totally understandable. I think it's just, I've seen great coaches make these mistakes. Like the Belichicks have done it before. Not very often, but they do it. I kind of like Todd said, I think he's kind of hamstrung with what he has to work with.
Yes.
He would love to get the ball to Kamara more in space, or you would maybe want to lean on him to get your best offensive player to get 2 yards for you. But if you don't get the proper blocking from the offensive line and push forward, and they don't make a hole for you, what can he do?
I
He's
the only thing. The second Mike's thing is that there's thought that Kellen Moore is kind of floundering a little bit is the penalties are a direct reflection of coaching, to me, like lack of efficiency in like practice or something. I mean, or just like coaches. I don't know. I mean, I know the players commit them, but like the excessive penalties, that's a coaching thing too.
I agree.
Yeah.
But like some of them, like the coach is not responsible for a player like false starting all the time. Like that's got to be on the player at some point, because you have to have the discipline to not do that. You can obviously you coach him to, hey, like don't move on the line. You know what the count is. At some point, it probably skews more to the player being at fault. But yes, the coaching during the week for some of the other penalties, I think, needs to probably be more improved. But then I don't know how good our
I honestly thought our
coaches
defense,
are.
and like just kind of pivoting. I honestly thought our defense would be much better.
No, yeah.
100%.
I because everyone preseason was like, they're gonna have a good defense to keep them in games, and the offense will just be average. So the offense being average is not the surprise. The defense not getting stops is the big like kicker, because it's like, I mean, like, if you're not getting stops, it's like you're on the field and then you're gonna get gassed, and then it's just like then you're just screwed, and then the offense is gonna go be average, and like you're gonna be in bad situations. So.
The first play of the first game, when Cam Jordan, got that sack, I was like, holy shit, this is it. We actually got our shit together this year. We're going to have an awesome defense. Who cares if did I say defense? Who cares if our offense is bad? We got a good defense. And then every single play after that, it made me swallow that pill. So I don't know.
And I was talking about how bad the secondary was before we went on air, but I mean, the whole defense is bad collectively because, I mean, there's no pass rush, there's nothing. I mean, Sam Darnold had all day to throw the damn ball.
Yeah, made Mac Jones look like fucking Tom Brady.
And look, I'm a big supporter of Chase Young, but I'm starting to get a little frustrated with him because he's the guy that really needs to be on the field because you need somebody generating the pass rush, and it seems like he's now at the point where he's starting to milk this injury almost like he doesn't want to play.
Didn't another Ohio State guy for the Saints do that?
No, Michael Thomas. Yeah, but I'm also to piggyback off of Biff here.
Can't trust them Ohio State boys.
When
Olave's been hurt a lot.
Is anybody else? Anybody else hold their breath when Olave catches the ball?
All right, well, I'll finally finish my sentiment here. Just like what Biff said, he was a little more optimistic on the defense. I remember watching the starting defense in the preseason, and I was pretty pleased with them because they were going against most of the offensive starters on the other team, and they were really holding their own. I remember, when we played Denver, we had our starting D on the field, and we really shut them down for the first 3 drives. And it wasn't until Cortland Sutton started to get some space on Kool-Aid that they started to kind of score some points. But I was very pleased with the way they looked in the preseason, thought it would carry over into the regular, and it has definitely not been the case. To go back to Mike's point here, though, like I've said this before the season, like Kellen Moore's a first-year head coach. He took a job where he knew he had a roster with very little talent. We have to be patient with him. Like you can't just say like, oh, we got to fire this guy because he's bad at 1 year, because he's working with probably the shittiest roster in football.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think we're seeing that.
I think the bottom line is the problem starts with Mickey Loomis.
Oh yeah,
and he's not going anywhere.
I mean, I was actually looking at it today. The Browns beat the Packers. The Panthers beat the Falcons. I think the only teams that are winless now are us, the Jets, and then one of the teams from tonight will either be the Chiefs or the Giants, which will probably be the Giants. So we're down to like the bottom 3 teams that are going to be winless. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, I think my expectations, even though I've somehow fucking picked this team to win 7 games, that's a really stupid.
I'd like to redact like 5 of mine.
Yeah, more so because one, I'm not that I'm smarter than that. I listen to people who are smart, and everything I heard all preseason was this is a bottom 3 team in the league from a talent standpoint, the roster, and having a brand new coach. And I think most of their projections were right around 3-4 wins, but we were going to finish as one of the worst teams in the league. And I don't know why the hell I got even remotely gassed up thinking that, oh, we could beat so-and-so, so-and-so. I still think when we get to the Carolinas of the world, we will have a better showing, but but they same thing that I keep seeing and thinking is what they were saying, that this roster is just not good.
Yep.
They're just not good enough to really compete at a high level. We don't have explosive plays or players outside of a 1 ball to Shaheed you could throw.
Let me just say, if there's anybody, y'all want to keep bringing up Chris Olave on the show. Mike wants to keep bringing up Chris Olave. Let's put it that way. Rashid Shaheed, what does he have? 3 catches on the year? Dude's been fucking invisible. He is terrible.
He is terrible.
And where's Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks was supposed to be a big free agent signing.
That was a waste from the
he's
get-go.
Another 3 catches on the
Brandon
year.
Cooks, that guy, what is he, 90?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a tiered system. And the shit rolls downhill. If you can't protect. One, if you can't protect your quarterback, no matter how good the quarterback is, look at Mahomes right now. You're going to have bad quarterback play. We also have a not so good offensive line. We have a set of skill players that are average all around. And even Kamara is a bit older, so you got to factor that in. Do you get to the quarterback? We have technically he's maybe still a rookie in terms of number of games he's played. He hasn't played a full season with the games yet. And he also wasn't that great coming out of college. And then it just melts into one just pile of mediocrity. And I think that's where we are. We're playing against teams that have better players. Now, you can argue the San Francisco game because there were times that we could have put that game in our favor and kind of maybe pulled away. But I'm not going to say Mac Jones is better than Spencer Rattler, but the defense made Mac Jones look way better than I think he probably really is, even though he's in a system that works well for him. But they can protect him, and they did, and he had enough playmakers to help him out.
Yeah.
McCaffrey being the primary, obviously.
I mean, look, both of those first two games where we put ourselves in spots to win and just couldn't do it, which is another thing.
I didn't anticipate a blowout today.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I even was hoping for a win, because Seattle didn't look that great in their first game. Second game looked better. They won their second game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, they looked bad early, so I was like, well, we might have a shot. And then I turned it on late, and it's, practically over already. You know?
Travis, I talk about Chris Olave because it pulls your strings, and I have a kick out of it. But to be honest with you, he is the best receiver on the team. He's the one that they obviously throw to, and he makes the most catches. So Shaheed, I think he's like a deep threat type person, but he can't get open ever. Juwan Johnson, he has butterfingers. We don't have anybody else really. I mean, I'm hoping we trade, and get somebody good.
What would you trade on this team that another team wants?
The only thing they
Kamara.
have is draft picks. That's the unfortunate.
I would trade Kamara because Kendry Miller looks like he could take the reins.
He looks more crisp, that's for sure. I don't know.
The only issue with him was, he's been plagued with injuries the past 2 years, so you got to have somebody reliable backing him up.
What's that guy's name?
Neil.
Neil. Yeah.
His first name Devin.
Devin Neal. Yeah.
He looks like a very well put together athlete.
There you go. Trade Kamara.
He's very.
At this point,
stocky and jacked.
I know Kamara probably wants to retire here, and I'm not totally against what Mike is saying here because he's much like what we did with Lattimore. You realize once guys get past a certain point, they may want to go play for a contender, and they may be the piece that you could potentially bring something in for. But again, we're not one free agent away from winning anything or making ourselves that much better.
I just don't know. Not that he's not a good player. I don't know how high his draft capital would be, just being that he is an older running back. He's got a decent amount of miles on him, and he would probably fall somewhere in the top 10 to 15 range in terms of running backs ranked in the league. Maybe most of the best teams have a running back that is at least his equal, if not better than him. So trading to a mid-tier team to maybe try to help push them over, what are we going to get in return for it?
The latest article I saw was that the Chiefs were interested in him.
Yeah, that would make sense because they have a special situation where they need a lot of help because Pacheco looks really bad after his injury. Yeah. But they also need a wide receiver, so who knows?
But as Travis said, he's a good receiving back.
Yeah, and he would definitely help. I'm not saying he couldn't help a lot of teams. Yeah. It's just a matter of what teams would need him and what they're going to give up to get him. So I have no idea his trade value on that. But kind of looking forward to next week. I think watching. From what I saw from the Giants, and yes, the Dallas defense not very good in the secondary.
We got to get past Buffalo first.
I've already.
We just skipped Buffalo.
I have already moved on past
He's
Buffalo.
Moved past. He said next week, but he meant 2 weeks.
Yeah. I've moved past Buffalo. I know how that's going to play.
We've just already figured that one as an L. So.
Yeah.
We might as well just time travel, get in the DeLorean and go.
But
to,
looking at what I was getting at was looking at games or teams that we could potentially win and beat. Everybody would say the Giants because they're also in a similar boat winless right now against us, but they were mighty fucking frisky against Dallas, who has a bad defense and secondary as well. So take what you want from it. But what did I say about the Giants in the preseason thing? All you need is one neighbor's deep ball to really unlock that. And what he did to Dallas, I mean, their defense is probably secondary-wise on par with ours. So that's going to be a massive, massive problem.
Not to mention, when you're in the bottom three, everybody has that chip on their shoulder that wants to win. And every game is going to be hard from now on. I mean, that much more harder.
Yeah. Maybe outside of you could debate the quarterback ranking of the two of them, of either Shuck or Rattler versus Russ Wilson or whatever. But skill player to skill player, they're probably more talented than us.
I agree.
So
at least experience-wise. I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be. Well, you could give whatever quarterback a pass for next week against Buffalo because that's probably not going to go well. The Giants game and then the Patriots. I think we're getting closer to time that we might have to have that conversation about who's going to be our quarterback. But also, if you put Chuck in, who's he going to throw to? Who's protecting him?
Yep, same. But yeah, I think when we did the preseason picks, my original thought was like once we get that home game against Tampa was when I think we were going to make the poll, and that was pretty close to the very mid of the season. But I think what you're saying right now probably makes total sense. Like after we get demolished by Buffalo, we have two potentially winnable games right there. One of them being at home against the Giants, and we'll have to see, how Rattler looks maybe in that Giants game, and if he doesn't look good, then that might be when he gets pulled to where maybe Shuck gets that first start against the Pats.
Right, because those are two opponents that are also not very good, and they should be winnable games, just like San Francisco with a depleted roster that they had should have been a winnable game. Mm-hmm. And if he does not play, if he played like he did today against the Giants and the Patriots, I think the change will probably or should happen right then and there after that. Mm-hmm. If he plays like he gave us in the in the San Francisco game, it was pretty decent. Nothing otherworldly, but he played like well enough. Yeah. He understood and was competent what was going on. If we get that version of him, I think he'll probably maybe keep his job because again, you're going to throw the rookie with that offensive line and that offense. But if he comes out like he did today versus those two teams, it might be time. The Buffalo game out, you get a pass because that's going to be a tough ask for anyone to go play in Buffalo, no matter how good you are.
Yeah. Yep. Season looks bleak. Hopefully, like I said, the optimism keeps going lower and lower. But I guess we'll just have to wait it out and see. Us Saints fans are no strangers to that. So. Before we fully move on from sports, though, I'd like to give the Cleveland Guardians a shout out. At least my baseball team. And look, there was a time when I was pretty much giving up on them because after the All-Star break they came out really cold and put themselves in a pretty bad spot regarding the Detroit Tigers. But they're currently on a 13-game win streak and are a game and a half back right now, and have put themselves in a good spot. So at least with the shitty Saints, I have the Cleveland Guardians.
At least one of us has postseason baseball to look forward to.
I can potentially watch the Guardians in the playoffs, and then, of course, the start of NHL season's right around the corner, which I know Russell's been looking forward to since he's been kind of quiet in here.
I got to watch something that's entertaining.
Well, we got two Avs fans over here now. So.
Go Avalanche.
I really think Russ is secretly shifting more towards the Sharks, though.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that knows a bit of flirtation, let's call it, with this hockey affiliation you have.
I did just buy blue shoelaces for my red shoes to make Avalanche Jordans. Just saying.
But instead of the yellow jackets, we could be the teal something or others.
I can cheer for two teams.
But he said those before his Avalanche shoes, not his Shark shoes, Todd. So
that doesn't mean that wouldn't stop him from buying a pair of teal and black J's.
That doesn't mean
that's the winner.
That doesn't mean he's not going to go buy himself a teal Sharks bomber jacket.
To wear with his teal and white and black Jordans.
My favorite player does not exist on the Avs, and that's because I know very few players. I might know like 3 players.
Oh, are we talking about Gretzky or are we talking about Celebrini?
Celebrating.
Wow, did he just leapfrog everybody?
Wait, help me out here for a second. You said that you only know like 2 or 3 players. From which team?
In the league.
So can you name for me those 3 players?
It's not McKinsey.
McKinnon.
Yeah. And then,
McCall.
okay, that was the other one. Yep.
And then
Are
Celebrity.
you questioning his fandom now, Patrick?
So I believe Patrick asked Russell to name 3 players.
I was trying
Travis
to
to spoon feed
I
him.
was trying to give him a cheat sheet.
Listen,
Spoon feed him.
just
I chose late in the season, so I haven't watched that much.
just
The season
do,
will be different.
Just do me the favor now and switch your allegiances. Start buying your new Sharks gear until you 2 can fucking be broed up. What's the name? What were the names of the duo from Home Alone? What they called themselves? The Sticky Bandits.
Sticky
Yeah,
Bandits.
Yeah.
It was the Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits,
Then the
yeah.
Sticky
Yeah.
Bandits.
We were probably the Wet Bandits for a second. Now you 2 can go be the Sticky Bandits and be fucking Sharks fans. So, I don't. There's no more room on Lanch Island. All right,
Harsh.
you can move on.
But he's got the Jays.
Mike, are you excited about Golden Knight season?
I am. I am. I can't wait.
I can't even see the puck when I watch hockey. Like, cause my eyes are so bad. I'm like, they might as well just be like playing without a puck and just like skating around and slapping the ice with sticks. Like that's how little I like hockey. Like I tried to follow it. I can enjoy football,
So
quote unquote.
So
soccer
what
more.
if they take the puck and make it into a big round ball?
Are we doing like sarcastic ball, like in like South Park? It's like,
And
what if we change the ball
instead of
into
ice?
a
What
big
about
ball?
instead of ice? They did
It's
grass.
And
We gotta
instead
have
of
the technology.
pads and sticks, they wore cleats and shin guards. Then I'd watch it. What if they played in England in big stadiums?
And maybe if they didn't have a stick and they threw like a pigskin.
And they
That's
wore
how y'all watch it?
helmets instead of hockey helmets.
I feel
called
like
it the
technology,
Man, I don't know. I'm in. I like that.
I like that.
that
Let's change
sport.
that around.
with all the technology we have nowadays, it's like tracking everything that's going on.
They
in,
could
all
easily have a
sports games.
tracer.
Oh, easily. That's what I'm getting at. Like, why can't we
yeah.
just have like yellow highlight on the puck that just like
That would,
so for people
that'd be
viewing on
easy.
TV?
I think
I
they
could
did
barely
that at one
see-
time.
I could barely see it.
I think it was
Like,
Fox or
I'll watch
ESPN had the blue
It was
tracer.
a blue one, yeah, blue little tracer to where it had like
how
a little
cool would
tail.
it be if it was like a throwback to Gretzky '64 era,
was a
era,
fun
sorry, where you had the little blue like
Yeah.
follow line of the puck. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yep. Well, one thing I do want to say too before we wrap up kind of sports talk here is I will be definitely way more interested in this season with the Kings, being that the captain Andrei Kopitar has officially announced that. I know we talked about this on the pod before, where I was speculating that it would be his final season. Where he had a press conference actually the same day as Clayton Kershaw announced that this will be his final season. He'll be retiring after this year, so it would be nice for me to kind of go all in and hope the Kings make a deep playoff run. Hope ultimate goal win the cup, but I don't think they're cup caliber team, but maybe they'll play with extra emotion and hopefully win one for him or win another one for him.
one for the keeper.
Yep.
Quickly, while talking about sports that's still currently being played, who do you expect to be in the World Series right now? If you just had to, just from right now.
I'm gonna go out and say NL. I would pick the Milwaukee Brewers. I think the Brewers are playing pretty good, and I'm gonna go with a little wild card candidate in the AL. I think it might be the Seattle Mariners. So they're actually not a wild card. They're winning their division right now, but I like the team they have. I think it's going to be the Mariners against the Brewers.
Solid. I hate to make this pick because I don't like this team or their fan base. The Phillies seem incredibly scary when their bats are live. They're 8-10 runs a game good, and that is a lot to overcome. So I'd be worried about the Phillies, even though I don't like them. I didn't really consider the Mariners as a real threat because I always worry about the Yankees finally figuring their shit out
Yeah.
and stop shitting on themselves. But that actually might be a really solid pick. Like Raleigh and what that rest of that roster is doing offensively and defensively, and the pitching has been pretty good as of late. So I could talk myself into seeing the Mariners get there.
And Todd, I know, unfortunate for Todd's O's, that division has been really good between the Yankees, Red Sox, and the Blue Jays are actually winning it right now. And
the Blue Jays already won it.
And the Blue Jays have made, to me, one of the best moves. Have made some of the best moves at the deadline. So I think the Padres did too. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Blue Jays snuck in there too. But I'm gonna stick with my Mariners against Brewers pick.
How are the Astros doing?
They're in the wild card race, but they're behind the Mariners in the division.
Yeah, they're hanging around. There's a good chance they'll make it. I don't know how far they're going to go. They seem like they're not hitting on all cylinders at the same time. They're up and down, and like when they're down, it looks bad. When they get right, they look scary, but not like win the World Series scary. But they could definitely probably upset somebody in the first round and knock out a higher ranked team though.
Honestly, based off of how the season had started, I would have gone with Detroit winning for the AL, but they look like they've kind of slipped a bit.
Yeah, they're in danger of losing out to the Guardians right now.
So I mean, with that being said, maybe I will jump on with Travis and go with Seattle.
Yeah, I'll take the Blue Jays. Just looking at I didn't follow a lot of the trades they made in the deadline, but looking at that team just in general, but the core, that I want to see the pitching and how that translates into postseason. But offensively, they can swing it. So
I'm not picking an AL East team.
That's fair.
I also think for the NL, I might be agreeing with Travis on this. I didn't realize the Brewers were so goddamn good. Their record is amazing, 95-61.
Yeah, they went on kind of like the Guardians are doing right now. They went on a long win streak after the All-Star break, and they really haven't looked back.
And as much as I hate to say this, though, you really can't count the Dodgers out because, I mean, it seems like when playoff time rolls around, they tend to get hot at the right time.
And look, Clayton Kershaw already announced he's leaving after this year, so they might want to be winning one for him. There might be extra motivation for him, so that wouldn't be a bad one. But, yeah, Brewers against Mariners.
Speaking of the Mariners, I also saw that Cal Raleigh broke Griffey's single-season home run record.
Yeah.
With 57.
So
Well, we had some sports talk we just wrapped up with, and
the dumpster fire Saints game.
And usually when we talk about sports, Russell kind of sits kind of quiet. So I'm going to let him kind of take the reins on this. Last weekend, he actually hosted a wine tasting at his house, and he had a nice little spread laid out for everybody with some cheese and crackers and a
lot of crackers.
A nice how would our old friend Schmandrew call it? A nice
Charcuterie?
charcuterie board kind of thing. So
Charcuterie board.
So Russ, why don't you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, sure. It was I wanted to get together with a couple of my other friends from a monthly thing that we do with the supper club. Pat and I do, and it got canceled. So I tried to get everybody together to do something at my house instead of going to our normal location on Bienville. So I invited all of them, and I wanted to invite a couple other people, kind of try and combine some friend groups, try and have some fun. So we did a little wine tasting, bought a couple bottles of wine, asked everybody else to bring a couple bottles of wine. Had a great cheese plate, as Travis was saying, which was actually really fucking good. We tore that cheese plate apart. Mm-hmm. It was really good.
It was God.
You spread that cheese.
That's right. It was funny, though, because I set it up to be like a formal sit-down tasting, because I've done that in the past, and I was more, or I planned better for it, let's say. I had printouts of each different type of wine that was being brought, and what the tasting notes and all that stuff was, and I didn't do any of that. I just kind of had a bunch of glasses and a list of, here's 1 through 10, rate the wines, essentially. But we didn't even sit in that room, really, until midway through. We were just watching TV and whatnot. But I don't know, it was a really fun time. All of our supper club friends really enjoyed all of y'all, and I believe y'all enjoyed our supper club friends. And I think the last person left close to 3 a.m. So it was a fun night.
It's a victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all and during football season. To me, it kind of paired really well. We had the LSU and Florida game on in the den, and I know Patrick was very much watching it very enjoyably.
I hate them.
Which team?
Florida.
Go Tigers.
No, I guess
We know the Twins are avid LSU fans, so
I love them.
they were cheering.
It was so fun to
cheering.
watch them win.
I bleed purple and gold.
You've never told a bigger lie in your life.
Look, my big takeaway from Russ's party is one, plenty of available wines there, and maybe I guess my takeaway is I have to start drinking more wine because when I go to those nights I end up not pacing myself and I'm just like, oh, let me try this one, and then when I get home, like I'm way more drunk than I thought I'd be, and then the next morning I did not throw up at this one though. I was able to hold this one down.
Already unsuccessful.
But I did have to wake up and immediately take some Motrin and get some, get the headache under control.
Were y'all there till 3 a.m.?
No, we probably left around 11:30, something like that.
Travis had to get his liquid IV in him.
Oh yeah, liquid IVs and aspirin or Motrin.
Unfortunately for, I guess, some other people, wine was not the only thing being consumed because there was definitely bourbon being drank as well. And the two did not combine for those people the next day very well.
Pat, did you drink both?
Nope, I only had bourbon. No wine was going to be strong enough to cure my anger and just general pissed off mood of watching Florida play LSU. I hate them.
I mean, I had a good time, man. I had sampled several different wines. A couple of them were really good. The cheese plate, the charcuterie board was top notch. Definitely put Schmandrews to shame. And again, all your supper club members were cool people. That was nice meeting them.
The only thing that would have been better if Russell would have wore an apron with his shirt off underneath it.
Look, that can happen
That's
next time.
that's the only way.
I have
that,
several aprons.
That's the only way that he could have competed with Schmandrew Smart.
He needs no encouragement to be topless with an apron on, all right?
No, but again, I appreciate you hosting. It was very, very nice. Every time we have a night like that, whether it's a bourbon tasting, wine tasting, it always ends up being a good time. Plenty of alcohol consumed. Well, I'm gonna shift a little bit to the game that was on at that time. I know Patrick says he hates Florida, but Patrick, how much longer do you give Billy Napier?
About as long as I give the Saints starting quarterback.
Like 2-3 more weeks?
About that. I mean, preseason, Florida had the toughest schedule, I think, in the country for a Division I school. Having to play, now the USF game was inexcusable. Should not have lost that game. No matter how good the USF quarterback played, you should beat USF. But, going in, having to, within a 6-week span, play Texas, Miami, Georgia, LSU, Kentucky, whatever, it was not going to be a good season. It was going to be rough. But to only be 1-3 is really inexcusable. 2-2, I could understand. Yeah, you beat Long Island, whatever. You should beat USF. You're probably not going to beat Miami. They're a more talented team. They might be the best team in the country right now, quite honestly. And then the other and then LSU. Those are games you probably would lose or could go either way depending upon how things go, but you're probably going to lose those games. And then knowing that you have Texas, Georgia, Texas A&M, who beat Notre Dame a week or two ago, as well, to go with Kentucky, and then you have like a little of a break, but then you close your season with Florida State. The quarterback play has been subpar for a 5-star like DJ Lagway to play as poorly as he has done. That's not 100% on the coach. He made some really bonehead decisions. 5 interceptions, 5 turnovers in the LSU game, I believe.
He hasn't looked good.
No, not at all. So even knowing that the season was going to be rough just based on the schedule that you were playing, the lack of coaching and the lack of detail has not been. It's been awful, and it's to the point where I don't see another option or a way he's going to fix or improve this team going forward. So he's already been on the hot seat for a year and a half. It's to the point you might as well just rip the Band-Aid off now, get it over with, pay him the buyout, whatever amount of money it is, and just try to get ready and start making your next coaching list, because it's just time. It's just, I like the guy. He's a good coach in general. He's just kind of over his skis in the SEC, and he also is at a slight talent advantage. The other problem is his 5-star quarterback has not played anywhere near his talent. So
the other quarterback in Florida is looking pretty good, though, right, Travis?
Yeah, the one. Well, Patrick already alluded to the fact that Miami looks like they could potentially be the best team in the country. I just give Carson a bunch of shit because he says that Carson Beck was the problem with Georgia, and I said Georgia did not have a Carson Beck problem.
Georgia had a protection problem for him last year. He didn't have any real receivers. He was running for his life a lot. Look at him now. Nothing's changed other than he got a better O-line. He has more skilled players, and he's showing the Carson Beck flashes from the year that they won the national championship. So,
Did they come out with the power rankings yet?
I haven't seen it today, but I'd imagine, I think Miami was 1 or 2 last week. I'd imagine they're going to stay there.
Yeah.
And then Penn?
Penn was 3.
Penn was 3.
Yeah.
LSU was 4.
And is Ohio State still number 1? I'm just checking.
Yes.
They sure are.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, they play Toledo next
They play
week.
Cupcake University.
But honestly, I think the biggest surprise so far this college football season has honestly not been the SEC.
Todd thought you were going to be. Todd thought you were going to toot this one person.
You know what? I'm a step back, Todd. Go ahead and gloat, because you've not had a lot to
surprised
worry
to see that the Mississippi State Bulldogs are not ranked yet.
Why would they be?
They're 4-0, baby. They've also beat 3 Cupcakes, though. So they get their real test next week against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Any predictions, Todd?
I don't know, man. They started out slow against Northern Illinois yesterday, so if they start out slow against Tennessee, they're not going to.
Tennessee just slaughtered somebody.
They're not gonna win.
56-0 or something. I forget who they played.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's doing just fine without Nico Amaliata, however you say his name.
Malava.
So that guy looks like the biggest bonehead in
So
college football.
it's not I'm a lever. That's what
Honestly, for me, the best part about watching LSU is Brian Kelly's interviews afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Because that guy is like a quote machine of just like reels of stupid sayings like, give us some respect, and like, we're talking about this again, and all this stupid stuff. I'm just like, you are the biggest look at me, you know. And he lets Nussmeier,
he's not winning all over
hurt, who's supposedly hurt. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I just don't like him. I mean, I didn't like him when they hired him. I mean, like, he just I probably because I don't like Notre Dame, but anyway.
I think we got a bunch of us are in agreement with you there. So
Yeah.
Tennessee beat UAB 56-24.
Oh, you know who UAB's coach is? The Trent Dilfer. Did he beat up his player after? He beat up his quarterback after?
The Trent Dilfer.
Really quickly right now, just to the top 5 or top 10. It's Ohio State, Miami, Penn State, LSU, Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, Florida State, A&M, and Texas.
And then followed shortly by Mississippi State coming soon.
Mississippi State.
Probably not.
27.
I think that's probably about right. They're probably about like 27 right now.
Yeah, they might be in the 26 to 30
So they
range.
run into the buzzsaw of the middle of their schedule.
They're this close, Todd. They'll be there soon. And after they lose the SEC teams.
Well, they'll probably lose to Tennessee next week. And
Is it at
drop
home?
further down.
Home on the road?
It's in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
The past 3 games are home games.
Ooh. So they did a good job of scheduling. They did a good job of scheduling the Cupcakes at home, even though Arizona State's not a Cupcake.
Arizona State was ranked 12 when they beat them, so
No, that was a good win.
it could happen.
Yeah, no, look, Letty's playing. You know, he's doing a heck of a lot better than he did last year. So, anyway,
He also has a starting quarterback back, so
He
Did they not have a quarterback last year? Like, did they just play with?
Well,
Like,
the backup, their starter, Shapen went out after like the third week, and then they got the guy LSU's backup,
Van Buren.
their starting
I know, I'm
quarterback,
just
Van
playing.
Buren.
I'm just saying, like, did they run Wildcat the whole game or something? He said, like, they had a starting quarterback this year, so they're going to be better. It's like,
Well, the guy who's doing well for him now
No, I know.
got hurt early. Yeah. All right, so we just talked about Russell's wine tasting party that he had. We just had another party among our friend group this past weekend, and I know Mike, you were heavily involved in this. I'll let you kind of take the lead on this one. Our good friend Cherie turned 40.
Yes.
And I know Mike and his wife Jamie had a lot to do with the planning of all the festivities around that. So,
Yeah, it really was Jamie. We celebrated Cherie's 40th birthday party at Rock and Bowl. It was a really good turnout, really fun. They had a live band, the Groovy Seven, open bar, and it was catered for the majority of the times. We had some lanes dedicated for us too, which was really nice. They came in clutch for the kids.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Entertain them. But no, it was a good time, good turnout, good people, and yeah, I mean that's
How
it.
was Jamie feeling after that? I know she looked like she was kind of letting loose and having a lot of drinks. Was she feeling pretty good at the end?
So the kids started being fussy. I don't know, kind of middle of the night, right when I was kind of loosening up, really, and so I made an adult decision. A very very good husband thing I did. I took the kids home and let her, unwind and have a good time, and it was really good. It was really good. She stayed there till like 2 a.m.
I'm proud of you, Mike. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
It's never easy to. I mean, I know you definitely want to put your wife versus her best friend, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's never easy to just kind of stop and say, like, all right, I'm going to stop having fun and go be a parent.
It was very tough. And look, usually it's her being the parent, and taking care of the kids.
You don't say.
I've seen,
But,
my situation, I've seen many public fights, I'd say in public, where, both members of the couple don't want to go home and, like, take the kids home, and they usually, like, you did it, I did it last time, I get to stay out this time, and I see that battle happen way too many times. People, couple, perfectly nice families getting in fights because one wants to stay out and the other one wants to, and it's like, what do we do with our 2 little kids? Well, it's like, yeah.
Mike put his big boy pants on and said,
I did.
I'll-
I finally did. I didn't get smashed and, stupid. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky when I don't have my child, I can stay out forever. But then, like last weekend, I was on kid duty and I couldn't make it to Russell's thing. We were shopping at Spirit and watching some awful horror movie at Sarah's house with the 2 kids that they picked off of Netflix.
Do your kids ever get scared from watching horror movies?
Mine does. She finally agreed on one. It was like some zombie movie called like #Alive, and it was like an Asian horror movie where it's like basically like a Dawn of the Dead thing.
Okay.
But it was from like 2020. They just randomly picked it on Netflix, and it looked like it wasn't terrible for the kids, but a lot of blood and gore, not really like cursing or anything, that vulgar. But, yeah.
Would you rather blood and gore than cursing?
Well, for the kids,
Oh, what I'm saying for the kids.
Yeah, like over like nudity and things like that. Nudity. Yeah.
So you're saying you'd rather your kids see death and blood and gore
Well,
Then boobies.
than boobies or saying the occasional curse word?
mine's 11 and in 6th grade, and I think somewhere in 6th grade they start having that birds and the bees thing with
Yeah,
them
yeah.
at school.
In God's image.
God's
yeah.
image.
Because
With the lady with
I
the coffee
wonder what she knows, because like we've watched Squid Game. It's like, okay, she's seen all the violence and all the people getting shot in the head point blank and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, they see that in video games, whatever, like us
When
playing.
they're 4, yeah.
Yeah, like playing Mortal Kombat. But then there's a scene where the dude like gets the chicks trying to like make it in with like the boss man guy, whatever, and they end up going in the bathroom and screwing each other on a freaking toilet, and it's like it's
That's a lot harder to explain.
Quality children content.
Well,
and I'm just like, this scene comes on, and I'm just like, what does my child understand is happening right now? That this woman's sitting and bouncing on this guy on a toilet seat right now.
They're just bouncing.
What's it, reverse cowgirl?
They're just bouncing.
They got a trampoline underneath them.
They're playing tickle fight.
And I hate saying it, being that it was, Squid Game's a Korean show, there wasn't many boobies to see. It was more like mosquito bites, but
Look, I'm never gonna win the title of Father of the Year in this department because I've pretty much thrown that out the window at this point. I'm just like, you know what, whatever. I don't care anymore. As a matter of fact, Scarlett was sleeping out a couple of weeks ago, and it was just me, Heather, and Carson home.
And Travis rented Species for Carson.
Well, no, he made a shocking decision because I was like, I kind of feel like watching American Pie. Carson, do you want to watch American Pie? And then I thought he would be like, oh yeah, absolutely. Because he usually asks, does it have boobies in it? And then I'd be like, yeah. And he's like, oh, cool, I'm all in. And that's when I was like, no, I think I'm just going to go upstairs and play video games or whatnot. So then, Heather and I just watch our shows that we
Video
catch on.
games.
Yeah.
He went upstairs, but not to play video games.
He watched the movie of his own.
so Carson's the little brother when Stifler sees the thing on the internet, and he's like, cool.
Oh,
They're both
absolutely.
looking at it together. That's Carson.
That pulls him in very quickly. So as a matter of fact, like, what is the movie with Jennifer Lawrence where she's topless on the beach? It's a comedy. He goes back and watches that scene just so we'll see it randomly pop up on our Netflix account that somebody's watched it recently, and I know it's just him going the fast forward to see that scene.
That was like Big Russ with Sin City with the Carla Gugino scene.
Just thinking about that. Remember y'all saying, didn't he do that like on a trip or something? Or
Yeah,
when y'all were evacuated?
we're at my cousin Craig's house.
My mom's in the house somewhere. Just like, all right, watch that. Cool, done. But yeah, anyway.
Spank bank.
I mean, we just got way off topic. We just kind of drifted from rock and
I
roll.
was like, what did I walk into? I went to the bathroom.
Well,
and
we
it's like-
started talking about Cherie's 40th birthday party, and then we just got
Well, no, it was off of Mike being a responsible parent, and
Yeah.
and then quickly stated that some of us are not
bowling.
responsible parents. Most of us.
So I'm going to say this, though. This was my first time actually going to Rock and Roll since it's been at that location. The only other one I went to the one on Carrollton before.
Really, you've never been there?
where Shamrock
Well,
is now.
it's still on Carrollton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just what
it's
Shamrock says, yeah.
It used to be on Tulane. Tulane?
Yeah, Tulane and
Carrollton,
Carrollton, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been there, but I haven't been to since they moved behind
They
Yale
just
College.
moved like half a mile down the street
yeah,
to Yale
yeah.
College.
Did you look up because they have one of the old like the ball receiving things like hanging in the air?
Yeah, they have that up on the ceiling.
One thing I'll say, I mean, Sean was kind of discussing, and Travis was saying that his Rummel bowling kids would never want to bowl there because they never oiled the lanes, and it was just like a party atmosphere. It's not a real bowling alley. And then Sean was like, "Yeah, it looks like some of those balls were like they took outside and rolled them on the concrete." Yeah. I mean, the house balls were pretty bad, but
That goes back to me, being a bowling coach at Rummel and not knowing shit about bowling. And I was like, "Well, do you guys ever go practice at like a rock and bowl?" And they're like, "Are you like serious?" Like they don't oil those lanes. Like that's not a real bowling alley. That's just like for parties, So yeah.
It's like taking a professional golfer to Celebration Stadium. It's like
course
whole
was
10
amazing.
was pretty serious.
They don't have enough mini golf places.
No, they don't even exist anymore, really.
Don't they have one at City Park?
They
They
do.
do,
Yeah.
and it's actually terrible.
City
I've
Putt or
never
whatever.
been because it's always like everyone wants to go in July. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go sweat for 4
They used to
hours.
serve alcohol, they don't anymore.
I did see that. Is it Dollywood or might just be somewhere in that area is opening a Scooby Doo themed mini golf. So that looks really cool. So I feel like those, like Russell pointed out, like Celebration Station was a shit, and I don't feel like we have enough mini golf places around anymore. And I think our kids would probably like to do that.
My favorite memory from Celebration Station is when I would ride in the 2-seat go-kart with my dad, and he would try and spin out everybody, like, because they let the 2-seaters go first, and then all the people trying to pass him, and he's just jackknifing them, and we'd like spin out like 5 times. The guy's like, if you do it again, you're kicked out. It's like,
I got a warning when I was at Celebration Station for the go-karts because I slammed into my girlfriend at the time. And the dude comes up acting like a hard ass. He's got like Powerade, red mustache. And he like marks my man.
Oh, so it was kind of like that guy at the water park, huh?
Yeah, he acted like he was a big swinging dick at Celebration Station.
My
Probably
memory.
medium size.
My memory at Celebration Station, I went to get on the bumper boats, and it kind of went from underneath me, and I fell in the pool.
Pre-smartphone, cell phone days, so
During exam week at Brother Martin, I used to go there with all my friends after because it would be like a half a day thing, and that's what we would do. We would finish our exams in the morning and then go there after. And we'd get on the go-karts, and at that time they would give you like wristbands, and if you like spun out or tried to hit people, they would mark you off. You get an X on your wristband. If you got 2, they'd kick you out. So it was always like, who could be the last one to not get kicked out?
So you just made me think of a story. So Travis and I worked at Chuck E. Cheese in high school, and they would always have like a rivalry with Celebration Station workers where we played a football game in Lafreniere Park. And so it was like 5 of us went from Chuck E. Cheese that went out there, and 5 that went from Celebration Station.
Flag football or
No,
touch?
it was tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
we played
So-
tackle, Patrick.
Y'all are
We were
idiots.
So I always,
Oh, yeah.
So I always liked to play quarterback, and one of the guys that came out on our team was like a 45-year-old man, and he didn't speak English. His name was Jesus or something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was Jesus, yeah.
And he was banging one of the
managers.
one of the managers there. So he comes out there. And,
Was she hot?
No,
Negative.
negative, sir. So we got our 5 out there, and then Celebration Station workers come out there, and Damari is one of their workers.
Oh shit,
So
he's a ringer.
Damari played football for Rummel, and he wasn't like overly big, but he was quick and he hit
He
hard.
could shake anybody, dude.
And like first play, I throw the ball to Jesus, and he reaches up for it, and Damari just comes and cracks him while he's up in the air. Just hits him in the
Yeah,
ribs.
Todd hung him out to dry. Yeah.
Hospital ball.
So the dude was rolling around on the ground for like 10 minutes, and I don't think he came
No,
back
he
in.
didn't. He left. He after he got hit, he left. So we were down a man, and probably ended up losing that game. But like Russell said, the group of Brother Martin guys got together at Celebration Station. Our dumbasses would go to Lafreniere Park and play tackle football, and Biff is responsible for breaking somebody's finger.
His finger.
You know, but not intentionally.
He got caught on my shirt.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever not get hurt? Like me, and we always walked out with an injury, at least.
It was always the same people too. It was always
Trey.
Scalise or Dean or somebody else.
Travis broke Aaron's collarbone.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
Aaron's
great.
collarbone.
And that was not my fault. He tackled me, and he's just so
Dean
brittle.
was against me, and like I was stacked in high school, dude. I would like run. He's like, I was knocking his ass over.
So yeah, good times, bad decisions, but
That was great decisions. I had a great time.
Can I circle back for a second? I have one.
He's looking at me, so he's got
No,
something to
no,
say.
no. This has nothing to do with you anyway.
Does it
I
have
asked
to
the
do with
question.
Jesus?
I asked the question of you. I want to ask. It's one statement, one question. Going back to like putt putt and all that in Celebration Station. The statement: if you are ever on any sort of track that it's a go-kart or bumper car with me, I would recommend you stay out of my way. I will run you over. I will run you down. I'm faster than you. I don't play fair, so I'm just putting it out there. If we ever go to an amusement park and there's a go-kart track or anything like that, you're going to lose. Just put it out there.
Why is it
Don't go to
directed
NOLA
at Todd?
Motorsports.
Would highly recommend you don't.
Why is it directed at Todd specifically?
Yeah, what
It
was
wasn't.
Wait, what was,
It has nothing-
what was the question you had? What was the
Because you were
question you
looking
had?
at him the whole
More of a
time.
statement.
No, the question I had for you was I was wondering if it was tackle football or flag football that y'all played. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I wanted to ask of you.
It was tackle.
It was tackle.
The question is for the group. Going back to putt putt, how would you rate your putt putt game on say 1 to 10? Are you good at it? Bad at it? Let's go around the room. Travis,
6 out of 10.
Mike,
1.
I'm like a 3.
I'm actually pretty decent at it. I'd give myself an 8.
I'd say
Okay,
I'd say
Mr.
a 7. I'm
Arnold.
pretty decent at it.
I was gonna say 8.5, but I don't want to seem like I'm better than you, so I'm just gonna go with 8.
It's okay.
No, you can.
You can take the
It sounds,
claim. It
sounds like it's a competition.
Well,
Coming.
Sounds
Sounds like we
sounds-
have a
sounds like-
gospel outing.
and
Sounds
Sean. Thank you for getting to the point that I wanted to do.
Live pod putt putt episode.
Sounds
I
like we got
think-
2 big swinging dicks of putt putt over here.
It's like
Maybe
Russell,
3. Maybe 3
8
if
and a half.
Patrick.
It's like Price is Right.
Patrick's gonna
It's
say he's 9.5.
It's like 8, like 8.5.
I propose an annual Wasted Wagons Podcast putt tournament.
We could have played at Grace King or the Haynes, but they pulled it up.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
That's fine. It's fine. We go to City Park.
They do have a big crawfish out there, though. For whatever reason.
Hear me out. We can stay at 9 holes. If you want to do 18, that's whatever. We can work out, adjust the things from there. Worst score per hole.
Why don't we do 504
Has to
golf?
take a shot on my lord.
And we could do putting.
Oh, don't do that. I'll throw my back.
Do they have putting there? I was just there
about
3 weeks ago.
driving?
It's
Driving. Yeah.
Well,
That's so drastically different than
that changes the whole
I'm way
dynamic.
I'm way shittier at that.
Oh, yeah.
I would just destroy all of you.
Because I go from a 1 to a 10 when it comes to driving.
Driving?
See, I'm opposite.
How far do you think you can drive a ball? How far do you drive a ball?
I hit
The
the
net?
fence. Yeah, the net.
He's fucking
Straight,
Happy Gilmore over
or
there.
you got a little?
You hit the roof of the Superdome.
Mike's hitting his back on the fucking interstate over here.
That's what I said.
They
You,
got holes in the freaking net.
you hit it through the window at Fox 8, and then it hit the roof of the Superdome.
Okay.
Shit, Mike's Happy Gilmore over here.
All right.
No,
all
I'm not that
Mike,
good.
maybe we can do a second tier thing at 504.
Sure.
But going back to my original thing, lowest score or worst score per hole does a shot. The winner
Every
gets
hole.
Yeah. That's why I said we only play
I
9.
might get progressively better.
Loser has to
maybe.
drink Malort.
Huh?
Loser has to drink Malort.
It doesn't always have to be Malort, but that's where my mind went.
There we go again.
But it doesn't have to be Malort. It could be some other sort of thing.
So we
I
bring
feel
in
like
like
Todd and Travis need to lay off the Malort for that because they're due a Malort shot this year already.
Oh,
fantasy.
Wow. Little preseason shit
I
talk.
know it's early.
well, y'all are looking like y'all are going to probably be in first. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, we didn't say we were going to repeat. I mean, we knew we were going to suck.
Well, this was only between our two teams though. If Todd and I win, they have to do a shot. If they win, we have to do a shot, and they're looking.
I thought
in a
it was
much
if
better
y'all.
spot right now.
I thought it was if y'all don't win. It wasn't so much
It's
us
just like
winning.
y'all don't win.
Yeah, I think it was just if y'all didn't win.
That's not how I remember it.
I remember a lot
Somebody
of
go review the
three-peat
tape.
talk.
I thought it was just if you guys won, or we won.
Yeah. If you guys won, we have to drink the shot. If we win, y'all do. If not, everybody else is off the table.
Okay. All
I
right.
thought it was if y'all didn't
I think
repeat.
Russell and Mike's team might have entered the
This might,
conversation.
this
Yeah,
might
we
be
did
one of
something,
those.
I don't remember.
This might be one of those segments where Patrick does the little the
Yeah.
drift back in time and goes.
I'll take care of that.
I mean, the aftertaste just stays. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Not only does it taste like shit, the shit taste lingers with
Lingers,
you
yeah.
for a good while.
So the new wager is that if Todd and I win this year, Patrick and Sean have to drink. Is it 2 shots apiece?
Back-to-back shots. Yes, 2 each.
And so and it'll be shots of Todd and I's picking, or vice versa. If Patrick and Sean win, Todd and I have to take 2 back-to-back shots. But if we're doing a shot per hole, if we're only going to do 9, then is that and we're not all Malort? Does that mean you're bringing like a rolling bag out there or what?
No,
It'll just be between
Glass.
Malort and Rumplemints, and you just alternate between the two.
I'll take that. Yeah.
we play with the factory equipment at City Park.
Did you say Rumpelstiltskin?
Yeah.
And the cool dagger?
Oh, well, we're back on the fucking armory
Mike
talk.
pulls out the
Yeah,
Happy
it's-
Gilmore dynasty.
Yeah, it's no fucking Vagger Bands situation. You're not fucking bringing out specialty clubs and shit like that. Lowest person per hole does a shot. So it's not all of us. It's just for
So the winner of the hole, like lowest.
the
person?
winner of the hole can
Gets
pick
a pick.
what the
Oh,
shot
okay.
has to be. The lowest score does the shot.
So
So
maybe-
if we're all tied at the lowest, then nobody does it. How about that?
So then maybe we should leave the Malort at home then, because I think everybody who wins is going to pick Malort.
So lowest in the sense of the most strokes.
yeah,
Okay.
the worst score per hole.
Lowest
We'll have to do a shot.
score. Not
And the winner, the winner of the hole picks it.
Where are we playing at, though? Because
City
as we've
Park.
kind of already established, there's not very many.
Yeah, City Park.
It's got to be City Park.
No,
We should just-
City Park's terrible.
We should just drive to Orange Beach and go pick one of the numerous ones.
We're
Like
doing-
Pirates Island.
I was going to say my score is based on of like every beach trip or on the coast we go to. We always try to find putt putt. And so I have like a collection of the little pencils that I've taken home.
Sean says, "Fuck
So,
them kids."
I've just I've had some practice.
No, this
Not
is,
in a while, but I feel like
this
I've played
is-
putt-putt more than many have in recent memory.
This is the guys only. And I would say we have to have at least three beers before we start. To
Okay.
get
Done.
everybody
I go
loosened up
from
and
a
ready to
one,
go.
I go from a
Done.
1 to a 4
Done.
when I drink beer.
That's fine. That's
Let's
fine.
spend on Ubering over there.
Yeah.
Well, the dizzy thing, we got to spin around the putter before we do it.
I will
Maybe
throw
make the
up.
eights do that.
Well, like Todd said, if we decided to forego City Park and did like a Orange Beach trip, we could always rent like a hotel for a night and then not have to worry about driving too far.
All
Or
sleep in the same
just
bed.
get an Uber XL to take 7 of us back to where the fuck we gotta go. I'm trying to keep the cost down so we have to fucking go drive a state over.
But we're due for another Wasted Wagons trip.
Yeah, we haven't
Okay.
been on one in a bit.
If you want to do it as a road trip, that's fine. The 7 of us can pile up somewhere and go whatever.
Are we gonna ride around and find nudie bars?
Maybe.
I'm in.
They did have one really good one out there.
What's his name?
Let's go to Tampa.
Yeah,
Where-
that's exactly where my mind went.
Where Space Odyssey is.
Bottomless strip clubs.
They have to have a
I hope somebody gets to the UFO.
the fucking space bucks.
We'll have our trash bag of liquor that we'll have outside, and we'll be good to go.
It'll be fine.
This trash bag.
It'll be fine.
Alcohol's not. You
Yeah,
can't bring
right,
alcohol
right,
into
right.
the bottomless clubs.
I'm already looking for my shirt for the occasion because I think there's a Roosevelt or the Breakfast Ball polos that has like the clown. There's a Happy Gilmore line, and it's got
They do, they do.
"You're gonna die, clown."
That's Roosevelt. Yeah, they have that.
It's got a shirt. It's not. I don't think it's all over, but it has one shirt that's one of the many like Happy Gilmore references on the shirt.
We should all buy like or not nice, but like different colored pants to show up to this. So
Tight.
everybody has a certain color of the same pattern.
Goofy pants and a fat ass.
I had one simple idea, like, hey, let's just go to fucking City Park on like a Saturday or something,
Now it's a road
and do it.
trip.
Now it's a fucking an
Road
out of
trip
town.
to,
It's an overnight out of town trip
With
to
different
with
attire.
a strip club, and we're probably going to end up at a buffet somewhere.
And we're bringing Scuba Steve.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's do it.
This is another whole podcast episode right there. Travis's bachelor party.
Well, we've heard the stories. Don't worry.
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve, damn you.
Getting back on track from that derailment. Sean did mention that he was watching some horror movies with his kids. I think that's a good segue as we talk about Halloween coming up and Halloween costume ideas. Biff had actually mentioned before we had started that he had made his selection on what he's going to do, and he's going to kind of share it.
I'm gonna share it.
And we can all kind of go around the room without disclosing if we've picked anything without dead giveaways. I know Biff said he doesn't care; he wants to give it away.
Yeah.
I like the surprise on people's faces, but we can give a little bit of hints if we'd like.
I'll go first since I'm totally just ruining the surprise. I usually don't dress up and have a gig that night, but I don't have a gig this year,
Nice,
which is nice. It got canceled. Not good because I make $200.
but it's good.
Good that I'll be there.
It's good from a mental health standpoint.
Hell
when you get
yes.
to spend time with your buds.
Yeah,
Money is good. Yeah.
Yeah, money's good. But yeah, for those listeners that
They
don't
do say
see how
more
large
money,
I am,
more
I'm
problems.
a larger guy, so I'm going to be a hybrid costume of the Kool-Aid Man and Kool-Aid McKinstry. So I'm going to be Kool-Aid Man McKinstry.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you're going to make this happen?
Yeah, I have a large red shirt that I'm going to put the Kool-Aid Man on the front, and I'm going to put McKinstry on the back, and I'm going to go get a Rastafari dreads from Spirit.
Okay.
And I know cultural appropriation, sorry. But,
Deal with it.
but I'm not going to do blackface or anything. So
I mean, I was Papa Legba from American Horror Story a few years ago, so I had the Rastafarian dreads too.
okay, well
Are you
maybe
gonna
I
have
can-
a sheet with like holes in it and say hey, he can't cover anybody, or
Mike had an idea. Instead of saying "oh yeah," you just say "oh no." I gave up another interception, or I gave up another touchdown.
I think you should wear some tight football pants with it too.
Yeah, if I had any. But yeah, that's my Halloween costume. So
I like
gotta
it.
Start putting that together.
I like the creativeness.
Yeah, trying to think of something.
All right, so I know Heather and I had picked ours. We always go as a match in tandem. I'm not going to give away exactly what we're going to be, but I will say that we are going, based upon a couple of characters from one single comedian who is a movie actor. And I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Wow.
Ben Stiller.
Not that character.
Is it Owen Wilson?
No, it's not Owen Wilson.
Ben Stiller.
Well, you mean like a
Biff
stand-up
Wilson.
comedian?
He's
Ben Stiller.
he's a good one.
Oh.
Because I know
Yeah,
Biff
you know
hates.
I don't like
I know
Ben
Biff
Stiller.
hates Ben
When you
Stiller.
say
I like Ben
comedian,
Stiller.
you mean stand-up comedian who's a movie actor?
Give us
Yes.
the first name.
Yes, but
No.
It's Adam Sandler.
kind
It's
of
Jack
evolved
and
more
Jill.
so just into a.
Well, if it's
An
Adam,
act-
if it's Adam Sandler, Patrick would disagree. That
It's
he's
not
good.
Adam Sandler, but it's kind of somebody who started in stand up and just evolved into a movie actor.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not Louis C.K. jerking off in front of people, is it?
No, sir.
How would she?
Patrick's like, that's not a
what
bad
would-
idea.
It's like, yep, Travis is jerking off again.
don't hate
He's
it.
got a
Don't hate it.
Halloween costume.
Yeah, so Jessica and I picked ours as well. Yeah, I know Travis does the same thing. I'll usually have some ideas and like jot them down in my phone and have like a running list of ideas that we can do. And this wasn't one of mine on the list. Jessica actually came up with this one, but it's from a TV show that we watched together and we just finished recently. And much like when we were the Deep and Starlight from The Boys, these characters are actually not like a couple; they're actually like enemies. So
Don't get in a
it was a
fight.
pretty good idea from Jessica, but.
Yeah, it's a good point. With Biff says, "Don't get in a fight." And the only way that's going to probably happen if Todd decides to drink hard liquor at that point. And if he decides to be on Pluto while he's drinking hard liquor.
I don't think I was in a bad mood when I was on Pluto.
You weren't. You weren't. But Jessica was also out of town, so you couldn't get in a fight either, unless it was with me. Yeah.
Well, man, Travis was probably getting pretty riled up when I was telling him he couldn't start my lawnmower and he's a pussy ass motherfucker and all that kind of shit.
But I wasn't here for that discussion, but did Travis not cut your grass for free?
Yes, he did.
So like, I'm with Travis on you ungrateful motherfucker. Like, why do you not? like if someone cuts my grass, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but then they took it a step further. He didn't just make fun of me for not being able to start his. He made fun of me for going back home and walking my lawnmower back to his house. He said that's something Dad would do, and I said, yeah, it is.
I know
but-
y'all live close, but I still would have drove it because I'd feel like a hobo with a
He probably
with a
was
lawnmower
Mike
down
was
going down
probably
the
dressed
street.
like one.
Mike, would you like to explain why I couldn't drive it back? Because I have a Subaru.
If Travis had a truck, he would be able to throw it right back in the bed of his truck.
Shots fired!
Instead, he walked with his dress shirt and his loafer shoes on.
Paint stained shorts.
Well, the Subaru has a roof rack. I mean, maybe it could have.
Mine doesn't. Well, I guess
I'm
it
sure
does.
that hatchback's big enough.
Wait, you don't even have a roof
Yeah,
rack?
it does, but I'm not putting a fucking lawnmower on the top of my car.
I mean, where else would you put it?
Wait,
I could put it in the hatch.
the hatchback's not big enough for lawnmowers and scissoring?
It is, but I would need definitely big enough for scissoring. But
Do you speak from?
I would need to put it. I'd need to leave the hatch open and have like an elastic band across the back. You know, kind of like y'all do with y'all's trucks.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay, so
Would anybody else care to share?
Probably.
Anybody else want to share their Halloween costumes?
Sean, did y'all have your spirit trip? Do you have something planned out?
I have ideas, but it's not set on anything yet. But something, I mean, if it's something, trying to go simple, like shirt, pants, not like too intricate, I'm more about easy nowadays. Like if I get a onesie and just step in it and zip it up, and if anything, I also like to double if I'm going to buy a new costume. Like, can it be used for Comic-Con? Can I use it somewhere else? So that's about the best idea I have at the moment. So just, I guess, think of something that could possibly be used for Comic-Con as well.
I'm going as a Subaru.
what's Jamie going as? A Jeep.
A Jeep.
Get the ducks.
Is she gonna have little duckies on her shoulder?
That'd be a pretty cool idea.
So have you going to be able to make it this year? Do you be working that weekend?
Well,
It's the 24th, huh?
Somebody's got to
Yeah.
roll around in the neighbor's yard.
That's true. And break his watch, lose it.
I do have my child that weekend, which it always falls that way where I have to make her sleep over at my parents' house. So, but I know that coincides when Mike works.
That's gonna be tough. But I might wear a Subaru home from work.
I think you might need to call in, like you did the previous time.
It is Friday too, unfortunately, but like 2 more years, my child won't be going to the school that holds trunk or treat the frickin' Saturday before Halloween every damn year.
Jesus.
I think that's
that was a
Russ.
perfect response to what I just said.
I think that's Russ telling us he's
Yellow
going.
jackets unite.
Teal bomber jackets. I think that's Russ telling us he's going as a frog.
Barking spider, actually.
Barking spider.
So Pat and Russ, have y'all thought of anything about what y'all are gonna
I've
go
thought
with?
about it. I haven't decided on anything yet. I for a moment was going to dress as Lieutenant Jim Dangle, I believe is his name, from Reno 911.
I thought you were gonna say Lieutenant Dan.
No, not Lieutenant Dangle.
Lieutenant Dan, you were in a wheelchair.
That would have been awesome.
So I
Being
guess
a
a quick
homeless
fun
dude
story.
Lieutenant
I walked in Chewbacca's earlier this year, and I was actually a rogue from X-Men. But one of my buddies, who is bald, dressed as Professor X, and rode in a wheelchair the entire ride there.
Smart.
And,
That's actually smart.
oh yeah, no, he was getting pushed for a while, and then everybody's like, "Nah, fuck that! Like you got to fucking push yourself at this point." It's a fun time.
You were rogue?
I was rogue, yes, wig and all. But no, I haven't decided yet.
Okay. Were you mulling over a couple of ideas?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
I thought, is rogue a woman?
Yeah, that she is.
Yeah, I thought so.
Anna Paquin's pretty hot, just saying.
I put her to shame.
Sean would know. He watched True Blood.
And I've seen her naked, really naked.
You wear those chubbies?
Did you make sure you had like the old school with the big ass?
So I literally posed. If y'all familiar with the meme where she's like, on the ground,
Yes.
I posed like that and got a picture somewhere.
You know they have a lot of men or male characters in X-Men.
I didn't realize that.
The wasted wagons.
By the time I determined mine.
The wasted wagons do not shame based upon that.
Oh, really? We don't? Because I'm pretty sure I've heard otherwise.
I was drinking very heavily, and I walked into one of my managers. Not
You're like, I'm
realizing-
going as Rogue, and then you realize it was a woman.
I'm shocked that
I'm
Pat.
going to go as Mystique.
It's a shock value thing. But no, I hugged one of my managers, not even realizing it was one of my managers, just being drunk that night.
I'm shocked at Patrick's response there because Patrick told us he went as a basic a few years ago. None of us gave him shit for that.
It was almost a decade ago, so what happens after almost 10 years is erased from the record book. Unless you go on Facebook because there's pictures somewhere on there.
Patrick usually has great costumes. Coco Beware was a good
Apollo
one.
Yeah, the mustache
Apollo
is,
Creed
is
was
for your
good.
costume, correct?
So
You don't have to tell us what it's going to be.
I won't because I'm disappointed. I'm gonna upset you guys a little bit. So, the mustache was honestly just it was a birthday month stupid decision. I got a haircut a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what, just leave the fucking mustache. I wanted to see how fucking creepy it is, just cause. So, yep.
I kind of like it.
You should have left handlebars, like Hulk Hogan.
It wasn't grown out enough to be full enough right now. Like when I got it done, like now it's a lot better, but it wasn't to this level of thickness on sides
I
to
do like
make
the
it
fact
work.
that it doesn't stop right here.
Yeah, and that's
Like it goes down
I
here.
definitely wanted to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
growing it down as far as I could because if I showed you a picture of my dad back in the day, my dad couldn't grow a beard, but he could grow like a mustache and maybe like a goatee line. So this was kind of like a stupid idea / an homage to my dad kind of thing.
Okay.
But it was like 99% a stupid idea. Just like fuck it, I want to do it. I don't care. But then as I thought about it for Halloween, some costume ideas. The mustache works with those. So the 2 or 3 ideas that I have, I need to have this mustache for. So I'm going to keep this for at least a month. The problem is if I make the Halloween party, it's going to be very late in the night because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to be coming back from Shreveport that day. Total Wine is opening a new store in Shreveport, which is 5 hours from here. So that is going to severely compromise my personal life and my fun-having ability. That's also a consideration, Mike, yes. So Mike's showing a video of this, I guess let's call him an influencer, right?
Yeah.
Who black guy who wears like a country or a cowboy western outfit.
Call me Choco.
Yes, that guy. And he does some elaborate dances with a very thick and luscious mustache.
That dude is awesome, bro.
He's
I
pretty
follow
fucking
him.
hilarious. Yeah,
He is funny.
yeah. So yeah, kind of before I've done Coco Beware, I've done Apollo Creed, I've done a couple other miscellaneous ones, but I kind of stick to more of like the 80s. And I'll say this, if I do show up and I can make it and I am in costume, it'll probably be something from the 80s. And the mustache is not required for the ideas, but it's for some of them it's necessary. For a couple of them, it's just an added bonus. But I'm going with probably an 80s theme or vibe to my Halloween costume if I can make it. But again, kind of like Mike, work's got me in a chokehold right now, so I don't really know how it's going to go because the store opens in November, but like the soft grand opening is on Halloween Day. So Halloween Day and night, I will be in fucking Shreveport, Louisiana.
Dipshits.
I agree. But I don't have any control over this, so I'm just preparing to get bent over backwards by work. And like I was even talking to Russell a couple of days ago about getting a portable editing solution, like a tablet that'll allow me to be in the hotel for 2 days at a time to edit and get stuff done because I'm just going to be gone for a while between going to Lafayette and Shreveport every week or every other week. It's going to wreck my my time schedule a little bit.
So my nuclear option last year, I called in with a family emergency, and yeah, that didn't go well. They found out.
How many grandmas do you have?
What was it? What was the emergency? You were passed out in somebody's driveway?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I can get away with that
Yeah.
just by sheer logistics. But yeah, as far as costume, yeah, let's say I'm leaning towards an 80s vibe or a Western, like the genre of movie vibe like that. So the mustache for some of them is required, some of them is not. If not, I have a let's call it a fourth option as a pivot that is completely off the radar, never done, never really been thought about. It's not going to wow you. It's just not something you've really seen from me. So yeah, that's kind of how.
Well, let me just say we all hope that we see you there, and I don't know, and you don't have
That's
to
pretty awesome.
You don't have to confirm or deny this, but I would think that a good option for you that you would probably knock out of the park would be, and it fits all the criteria you just mentioned, would be Roadblock from G.I. Joe.
Ooh. That's a great one.
Filibuster and talk while I do some research on that because I have a month to get this together, so I have time to decide. I need to be way more jacked for this.
By the way, Russell, I request you do this at Comic-Con.
Todd, you don't have a gun collection next to your armory, do you?
No, the Armory collection hasn't even. It's a work in progress.
Oh, okay.
It's in the brainstorming phase.
We need to get you that armory. We let's put action on paper. Mike, you've been out for a few. You weren't, so I don't think you were around for. We were discussing with Todd getting an armory.
An armory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like multiple guns, real guns, or
No,
fake?
Knives.
Knives and swords.
Oh,
Kano knives.
Yeah, you remember the knife that Kano had, in Mortal Kombat?
Uh-huh.
That one.
That one?
Have you ever watched Once Upon a Time?
yes.
Remember Rumpelstiltskin's dagger? That one.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen
He's
Lord
up to
of,
2. That would constitute an armory now.
You ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Boromir sword.
Oh.
You ever seen Lord of the G-string?
So
You ever seen Anal Full Nelson?
The Witches of Brestwick.
I mean, that would look very cool on your
Crocodile
wall.
Dundee.
Very
That
cool
one.
on your wall.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Forest Humps.
School of Cop.
Whoa. This went into a completely another different direction, as most of our segments so far.
Species.
All right, guys. So we just got talked about the fun of Halloween festivities coming up and our, potential costume ideas. I only have one more segment listed on the paper, but if y'all want to add something along the way, you can. But I want to kind of end this episode with a funny story, and I know I already let Todd and Mike in on this. And Sean. Sean was there as well. So Todd has mentioned many a times about this meeting a gentleman in the YMCA locker room that he refers to as the grandfather clock, for obvious reasons.
The dog's still in here.
Well, I happen to have a similar encounter with not the same gentleman, because I already know the gentleman Todd's talking about. I've actually probably never seen this man before, but I usually will go, on days I don't see clients, I'll usually go straight to the gym after work, and I'll change out of my work attire into my workout clothes. Around the same time I'm walking in, this older gentleman, we'll say he's probably like in his late 60s, early 70s, decides to change, and he's changing into a swimsuit at the same time. Well, for one, the first thing I notice is that I'm standing facing a mirror, so I can see myself changing, and he's directly behind me with his back turned to me. Well, first thing I notice is he drops his pants, and he's got no underwear on, so that was kind of weird. He pulled down a pair of khaki shorts with no drawers on, so
Commando.
he was going commando. So I found that one a little strange.
Chafe City, Jesus.
I was going to say, wouldn't it scratch up against the zipper sometimes?
Yeah, wouldn't
it's
he
gotta be
accidentally
uncomfortable
get
as
his dick caught in the zipper? I don't know.
Good old heavy 100% cotton cargo shorts.
So then I happened to, one, that struck me as odd right there, just that a guy of his age not wearing any drawers. But then I happened to glance down, and I could see this man's nutsack was probably hanging 8 inches low. Like, it was the longest nutsack I think I've ever seen in my life. And I was just totally caught off guard by it. Like, it wasn't, and like all I could think of at this time was, Jesus, is this what I have to look forward to? Like, is my nutsack going to hang that low? And like, of course, the immature characters that Todd, Mike, and Sean are like, well, did you see his penis? Was his penis? Is it? I couldn't even see his penis because his nutsack was was hanging so low that it was blocking any kind of image.
Did you get a good shot of the vast deference?
I feel like the episode should be titled "The Grandfather Clock."
So I think we might have already had one of those actually, but this guy was not the grandfather clock, but he probably would have had a similar.
Obviously, I think he's taken that throne though.
So the answer to your question here, I mean, I believe
Mike does work in the medical field. So.
We're all heading that way with
Age.
stretchy, long scrotum.
That's what I said. Greg Giraldo said, you're getting old when you sit down and take a shit and your balls touch the water in the bowl.
So yeah, I'd figured that it was eventually going to sag, but I didn't think it was going to sag that much.
Can you imagine when that guy sits on the toilet? The struggle that he has to go through, lifting them up to make sure
It's
that.
almost like he's got to pull the side of his sack
Yeah,
up just to make sure it's not dipping in the water.
So it's like
Getting
it's
piss
like
on
a
his nuts.
thought, right? He has to have that thought before. It's not nothing's in a hurry. So if he has to take a really quick shit, he has to take off his pants, drop his drawer. Well, he doesn't wear drawers.
Yeah, drop his pants with no
drop
drawers.
his pants. Then he's got to grab his sack and have some
Throw it over his shoulder like a
yeah,
continental
a
soda.
thought okay, what am I going to do with this now?
Flop two things inside the bowl when he sits down.
Who wants their nutsack hanging in pee and poo water?
But listen, but if it goes in the bowl, it's going to touch the water.
True, yeah.
So then it's going to have to come
Out front of the bowl.
and then it's going to dangle and touch the dirty side of the bowl,
really thought this
in a
through?
public restroom.
Maybe he flips it up or something.
Tuck it between your groin
over
and
his
kind of sit
shoulder.
it on your leg.
They sit on his thigh.
Yeah, throw it over your thigh.
Over the thigh.
Like
There
a
you go.
vest.
That's what I would do.
Oh, Jesus.
Patrick, you look like you weren't prepared for this one.
Who is ever prepared for a conversation like this? Between other than you
Mike
and
has
your
been
doctor?
thinking about it.
Well, Mike gets a pass because he's in the medical field, so maybe he sees this more often than we would.
So not only have I seen that,
You've touched it,
but I've seen.
You've liked it?
I've seen an enlarged
the texture,
an
the flavor.
enlarged sack,
Elephantitis.
like full of blood,
Randy Marsh.
and it, like no lie, the size of a basketball. So what he's talking about plus this, and
So
let me tell you, man, it
length
looks
or-
painful as shit. But anyway.
Do you think it hurts for the sack to hang that low?
No. I don't think it hurts him, other than if he sits on him, you know. But
Is the medical term elongated taint?
no, it's not the taint.
I was gonna say, where does the taint end? At the top of the scrotum or at the balls 8 inches low?
It's at the top.
Let's just say like these were a nice long pair of khaki shorts. Let's just say like Russ is a Chubbies fan over here. Let's just say that he had a pair of Chubbies that didn't have any of the
They would be hanging out for sure.
Yeah, would no drawers on.
Now I'm thinking
Exactly.
of Bad Grandpa when they
Yeah,
put
exactly.
the fake nuts.
Irvin
he
Zisman.
He needs those drawers with the little pocket inside. That way you can just
The
like drop them
nutsack
in there.
Nutsack pouch.
Yeah, the little pouch.
Little pouch.
You know, take the little pouch, you pull it, and you stick them in there.
Mike's
For
hand
safekeeping?
goes to, like dropping coins in a coin.
And then it's like there's something about Mary when the zipper goes up and it's like, yep, there's a bleeder.
Oh, a bleeder! I've had one of those too.
Please tell us the story. This was a good one.
Are you allowed to say that, Mike?
Yeah. So
If you're not saying any names,
no, absolutely not.
Fuck
no.
HIPAA.
Generality.
So I've seen a lot of shit in my life
I know.
Done a lot of shit too.
and done a lot of shit, and bleeding sack has had to be one of the worst bleeding anythings that I've seen.
Bleeding sack, bleeding anything.
Bleeding everywhere. It looked like a murder scene,
Was he a
guys.
squirter?
So yes, it actually did squirt, believe it or not. And you had to hold pressure.
Like trying to fix it and it hits him in the face.
You had to hold pressure
You're still with us.
with your
listeners. I
finger.
hope you're not eating.
One single finger.
One finger. Or else it would just squirt out.
Was it due to a zipper?
No, it was a shaving accident.
so
Been there, done that.
Just instant giggle.
So when I happened to share this with Todd, Sean, and Mike on Friday, Mike told us the story. And full disclosure, I shaved my nuts. I've never had an issue where I was remotely worried about cutting my sack open. So it was my question was to Mike was he shaving with a regular razor? Was he fucking shaving with a fucking field knife? Like what was it like?
So
It's like Sweeney Todd.
it was one of those like
Yeah, was it Aiden?
it was one of those like old Bics, like the
Single
yellow
blade Bic.
yellow handle Bic.
Single blade razor from like the drugstore. I mean, from the gas station. That's what I meant to say.
No soap, no moisturizer, just
No, nothing, man.
Going in dry.
You know, I get to him and he's
Straight
just
razor
holding
like
his
the
sack
barber
and
had.
with a towel.
How do you dry shave a wrinkle?
You stretch it.
You gotta do the bat wing.
Go ahead, unless you want me to interject now.
So I get to him and he's holding his sack with a towel. And I was like, okay, let me see what you got, what's going on. And he lets the towel loose, it drops to the ground. And I see the squirt start coming out, and I'm like, oh my God, give me that towel back. Just put it back on.
You better hold that back.
Why don't you keep that towel in there?
Dude.
I'm just
telling
thinking of
you.
the whole. How'd you get the beans above the French
this,
scene?
So I'm making this into an awareness, segment here.
Don't shave your
Please, fellas, if you are gonna shave, just be very careful what you do, how you do it, because it can. I mean, this guy was on blood thinners too, so that didn't help the situation. But still, like it could turn up the scrotum is very vascular, so it does tend to bleed a lot. So if you are going to do that, either use like one of those electric ones that they say they don't cut in, or if you decide to go at it with a
straight razor.
with a straight razor. Just be very careful.
Make sure
Use
you have
plenty of lubricant.
That could definitely hurt you and your manhood.
I'm not gonna lie. I've used lady razors, like the 5-blade with all the aloe and goo and
that's
shit.
5 blades to cut you. I mean, that's even worse.
I use 5-blade. No nuts.
I mean, it's been a while since a female that would use one of those lived in my house, but it was like ones she would use to shave her legs.
I'm not saying that y'all should go out there and buy this, but this is what I use. And
All right, so we're checking the list down of how many people shave their nuts here.
Manscaping by Mike.
I recommend the Philip One Blade. Philip
Morocco?
One Blade. Yes.
That's like a
Philip
piece of shit. I hate that razor.
So I hate it for everything else other than shaving
All right,
my
okay.
balls.
I'm doing a mental checklist. It sounds like 4 out of 7 at the table now. We've admitted it, and he goes, "I hate that razor." All right, number 4, check.
Todd's 5, I'm sure.
Okay.
This is a safe space. Not.
We're not going to post this on the internet or anything.
It's not a safe space, but I also don't give a fuck because we're all adults. We're all going to deal with this at some point in our life or whatever. Let me do 2 pieces of product advertisement here, and from personal experience.
Okay.
Number 1, the Manscaped lawnmower.
I've heard that's amazing.
Fan fucking tastic.
Never tried it, but I hear it's great.
Manscaped, if you're listening.
Yeah, Manscaped, if you're listening, holla at your boy. I need the new upgrade to the 4.0. I'm on the 3.0 right
So
now.
that has maybe I'll talk to you after.
That's fine. So
It's a lawnmower that doesn't take 10 pulls to get started, right?
no, Tyler doesn't.
or 40?
Much like Travis, I also groom and manicure and keep that area clean, professional, well kept. I used to just use a regular razor and just was very, very careful with it. And then I, through some other like bodily part injuries, not related to the penis, and having to remove leg hair mostly, I needed a better solution because I didn't want to use my normal like shaving razor on that body part because you don't want to cross those two, right?
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah, basically. So I bought the Manscaped probably 2 years ago for Christmas and whatnot. Been using it since. Love it. It's fantastic. I'll tell you this though, it's sharp. You not so much that you're going to cut yourself, but you will give yourself a little bit of a jolt if you're around a very sensitive area and you're trying to like clean up everything. It will shock you a little bit. Not like shock you, but like you get a jolt because it's sharp. The trick is,
Please tell us.
when you remove the majority of said hair, wherever it is, you then come back, and this is my second product testimonial, the Harry's 5-blade razor is fantastic. You get a little bit of shaving cream, wherever you're going to use it, and then come back with the 5-blade razor. It's precise, it is clean, it is thorough, it gets the job done, and it looks fantastic.
I wonder if I could book a session at Aiden Gills to shave my balls.
I don't think you can without going to jail.
Yeah, I'm going to
You'd have your heels up in stirrups.
At what point do we?
I'm going to go ahead and say no on that one.
At what point do we start giving out like a Harry's like coupon code and saying 10% off if you waste a wagon's code?
Harry's, get at me. I use your products religiously, and I will vouch for them. I will say this. So going back to the initial story, I have a time or two nicked myself with either the Manscaper or the Harry's, and like
So it's not Nick proof.
it's more user error. You're at the end of the day, you're dealing with a sharp object that is vibrating and electric. So there's a potential for danger at any turn, no matter what. it's on you to
You're not
not.
gonna whack anything off,
No, you won't whack anything off,
but you might nick yourself.
Great
but
choice
you
of words.
you can absolutely fucking cut some skin and get a little bleed out. Granted, and I wasn't like bleeding out like the you were talking about, but yes, I have had a situation where like, oh, I'm bleeding. Well, it was my fault, so it is what it is. But if you go down that road, I would for whatever, like I've done arm hair, chest, I've done full body hairless with my manscaper, and it's like 25 minutes done or whatever like that. If you ever want to venture down that road and down in that area, go with the Manscaped. And then, but follow it up with a razor. I've done the single blade, sure, and it works, but you got to like go over it a couple of times. 5-blade knocks it out one pass. Good to go. Smooth as butter.
Have you used Dollar Shave Club's equivalent?
No, only because I've been so impressed with the quality of the Harry's razors for just using like on face in sensitive areas. It's worked. I haven't needed to venture out, and it's not like there's a big cost difference to make me need to switch. So I've been with Harry's. I've used Harry's. I'm good there.
By the way, just throw it. I know the picture exists somewhere, but when I did have to shave for work one time, I did shave it into a handlebar, and I even went and put on the aviators and took a picture. And so that exists of me looking like a street cop.
I believe that
So
might be
they made you shave down there for work.
Yeah. Oh yes,
In the
yes.
shape of a handlebar.
I should have specified. I was not talking about my groin with the handlebars.
The aviators went on top.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Just really long nose.
It went on top of the chub, and then yeah.
Sean, I believe this picture might exist on Facebook.
Does it?
Maybe, because when I was looking for a headshot photo for everyone for our prediction post, our season predictions win-loss total, I was going through everyone's Facebook page, and I think I saw a couple of photos of you with a luscious mustache.
I don't think I ever had full just mustache or yeah. I don't know, but I know I can picture it because my child was like, hell no, when she saw me like that. It was like I was just, like you said, just doing it. You can take off, but you can't grow it back instantly. So it's like, let me see what that looks like.
But my other point I was getting back to was Mike's initial story about. Let me just say this: time and age catches up with all of us. Your saggy balls will happen. I've seen it. It's kind of here a little bit for me. It is what it is.
Ooh.
I'm not saying they're going to like go to the floor, but you will notice that in an unaroused state, they got a little more droop to them than you normally do. Just put it out there. Just deal with it. All right. So just be very careful with Travis specifically when you're going to do some cleanup. You just handle them a little bit different as you progress in age and things start to change on you.
Give them a nice little lift.
They just need a little hug and a little protection and cover. That's all.
Don't squeeze them like a stress toy. Just kind of caress them and just lift.
And on that grooming bombshell,
Wagons out.
Wagons out.